everyone, this is Zebo and welcome to today's In Z News. So in today's video, we're going to run through the patch note on May 19, Thursday, and with it will be Werebeast Rey. So without further ado, let us start today's video. So the first thing first is the Rey. Rey over here is a crit hit chance unit, a fire unit, so she's a pretty decent unit all around. I'll do a more in-depth analysis in the How Would It video, and I've tried her myself in the CN server. I think she's a pretty powerful unit, which definitely shuts down Earth's unit in general, which is something I appreciate. And other than that, I think she has a pretty cute design, right? It's a Mayriel kind of vibe to me, so she's probably gonna be like a mascot of sort in the game in the future, like Nari and Mayriel. So look forward to more of her. And then this is her story, so we will talk about her story in the How Would It video. Not gonna talk too much here. And this is the exclusive weapon, so I won't be putting the translation because I already know what this weapon does and what are her different abilities. I even have her stats, so if you guys want to know more about it, it's on the other video about her. I think it's on the very first Rey showcase, so I'm just gonna talk about it briefly over here. For the exclusive weapon, right, it allows her to gain 10% HP whenever she uses her secondary ability, which is the counter ability. So other than giving her a heal, right, it also provides her with more DPS by increasing the counter damage from 50% of her DPS to 140% of her DPS. So her normal attack, right, other than attacking the enemy, it also applies a 20% melee defense down on the enemy, so really important for it. And her counter attack, I think you guys should have seen it before. Basically, she stands on the spot, counter one hit. She doesn't really negate the CC percentage, but she will cancel out the damage and then deal 50% back to the enemy, 50% of her DPS. So if you have an exclusive weapon, the 50% will become 140%, so more damage back to your enemies. And then the exclusive weapon skill, or rather the chain skill, is pretty straightforward. It's just a 350% DPS damage to the target. And for the special ability is to complement her secondary ability. Whenever she counters the enemy, right, she will gain a 30% attack as well as defense boost. So this is the whole kit. I already summarized it. I will include the text on the right hand side so that you guys can roughly know what it means, but yeah, that's basically what it means, like I mentioned earlier. So that's that. And then we have a new White Beast exclusive weapon, Fenrir. Okay, so gonna leave the description for this EX weapon on the right hand side, but not too sure whether or not it will be of any use. Maybe in water raid teams, maybe in the future water raid melee team. So that is the thought for this exclusive weapon, right? Like, cause White Beast is a water unit, right? A water damage buff, and I think water has Garum just strangling the whole raid thing, so White Beast probably won't see much use there. And then we have a new exclusive weapon, so this is for Rey, right? 3-star, nothing too much. And as promised, they also mentioned the 3 new legendary accessories. So let's take a look at what the developer comment is. Okay, so Twilight Ring, okay, so that more Knight can use the Earth necklace defense decreasing notification option in battle. Okay, so I think Twilight Ring is this one. It's a budget Earth necklace, so you can have up to 80% defense reduction. So for those of you guys who are pretty unlucky, or rather you're not handsome enough to get Earth necklace, Twilight Ring is definitely a good supplement, however, as an accessory with a high amount of technical damage. Okay, so it has skill damage, so it's trying to differentiate itself from Earth Necklace. I think that's a good thing. So Twilight Ring will probably be a good legend accessory to develop, so save up your yellow hammers to try to max break it once it comes out. And then we have the Melody Earring. Okay, so this one is to deal with attack power lowering debuff. So this one is to prevent attack reduction. So right now I think we have quite a few units with that ability. Number 1 we have Bianca, right, and number 2 we have Priscilla, and we also have other units like Eugene as well. So having the attack reduction improvement, or like a method to deal with attack reduction, I think it's a good thing. But we already have one though. I think we already have Honor Earring. or honor ring, so I'm not too sure how effective this will be, because this is not even 100% reduction. Like those units, right, what they do is on hit they apply the debuff, so as long as they're hitting you, right, they have a very high chance of applying the debuff on you, and I think 80% might not be that sufficient, but we shall see once it's officially released. And then we have the sniper goggles. Okay, so blah blah blah, so using unique grade sharpshooter. Okay, so this one is to compensate for sharpshooter, I guess, right? It's a compensation for sharpshooter because sharpshooter has a really low toughness. So this is basically a legend version of sharpshooter. That's good, I guess. But for raid, I think in most cases, other than those guilds that reach the higher levels, I think you don't really need that much of a toughness, I guess. Maybe for certain units. Okay, wait. When evolving to 5-star, the maximum value to nullify in defense decrease and attack decrease increases to 100%. Oh, okay. So these are the 4-star values up to 80%. I think, okay, I think what this means is for these two accessory over here, right? This is a 80% defense reduction. This is, I mean, nullifying defense reduction, and this is a 80% nullifying attack reduction. So if you increase them to 5-star, they will get up to 100%. Okay, so this will make these two accessories very competitive. I think at least in the arena side, these two ability is probably gonna see some use, and there's some merchandise improvement. Okay, so Lupina t-shirt, Ogma plastic model, and Nari cushion has a low preference. Yeah, nobody uses it because Statue of Bravery is just too good. So let's see what buff they give to this. So stats increase. Okay, attack increase from 9% to 12%, defense increase from 6% to 9%. Okay, so change on hit deals melee damage equal to 50% of DPS, triggering every 4 seconds. I think this might be better because melee units doesn't hit their targets as easily as range units, so allowing them to hit harder every time they manage to touch their opponent might be actually good for them. And the increase in stats I think is quite significant because you're getting like 6% additional stats. So I'm not too sure whether or not this will allow Lupina t-shirt to see more use, because a flat 20% damage increase in SSB is really so strong, especially when you have Priscilla running around, right? So that's one thing which I don't know whether or not like Lupina t-shirt and Nari cushion will even see more use, even though they managed to buff it a bit. Maybe people will try that out, so we shall see. I'm not gonna invest too much because yeah, I am a very free to play player, so I'll wait for the whales to test them out to see whether or not it has a significant difference. So the last one, they increased the stats for Ogma plastic model, right? A total of 6% as well as 9%, so a total of 15% stat increase at level 30. Wow. Okay, this one might be a little bit significant because okay, plastic. Okay, the reason why you don't use Ogma plastic model is because you don't really fight tanks all the time, right? What if you fight against an opponent that is all range? So if let's say you fight against a tank, you're getting more stats and you're dealing more damage to them, which is good because tanks are very common, right? You have Future Princess, you have Arena, you have Marina. They're all very common tanks in the arena. And on top of that, let's say if you do not fight a tank, I think the stats differential, right, could definitely boost this merchandise usage up, because that's 15% worth of stats. Like if you compare this to your book knowledge, right, it's like what 10-15 book knowledge, so it's pretty big in my opinion. So guess we will see more Ogma plastic model. I mean, in fact I have a maxed out Ogma plastic model, so I can definitely test this out. And let's look at the hero buffs this time around. Okay, so the previous recording for this part was a bit too long. I kind of geeked out, so I decided to cut this part and re-record it. So I'm just going to talk about the buffs itself. Personally, I think this is a major buff to the fire element. In fact, I think Cintilla is going to be like the new arena powerhouse. So let us take a look at the changes itself. So Pip-wise, we'll be getting attack buff +7 at base attack. So I think that will be roughly equivalent to 20 or 30, I mean 30 points of increase once he reaches the max level. Not too sure, but I'll definitely refine the values. And then for the hero improvement part, right, for Pip-wise, her range of her normal attack as well as her reverse slash has been increased by 8%. So overall, a range increase, which allows her to chase a little bit better. But Piltvice's original weakness is actually the slow swings of her sword. So not too sure whether or not this will be major, but overall definitely good against the earth element, which is still very prevalent to this day. So I appreciate this buff. And we also have the change in the chain skill, just duration increase for the Undying Flame, right, from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. So maybe more significant in Colosseum than in Arena, because usually in Arena, once you chain your enemies with Piltvice, right, you're already winning the match, so you don't really need the additional duration. But one thing I can see this being used is after you use the chain, the additional 5 seconds can be carried over into the next Arena match, so that will give her a little bit more right click ability just to go after the opponent and not really care about the her own defense, because she will be getting a boost. So that's something to look forward to. Just a good buff for Piltvice. I say maybe not too overpowered, honestly speaking. Like Piltvice's issue is pretty obvious. It's not really this, but buffing her strengths is gonna make her more viable, right? Just whether or not people will experiment with her. And then for Cintilla, change in the normal attack range, right? Increased by 36%, right? They increased the chain skill damage from 270% to 290%, and the special ability has been improved. So the buff from the defense increased by 25% for 1 second to 2 seconds. Okay, so this one, right, might not be massive to you guys, but if you guys have seen really powerful Cintilla, the additional defense buff as well as her ability to chase better is pretty massive, like, to be really honest. And I think Cintilla has always been like the unit to compare with Lyn, right? So Lyn has her injury negation shenanigans that people have to deal with, and for Cintilla it was more of, okay, this unit is just gonna chase after you and just hit you really hard. But right now I think with the changes to her range as well as the changes to the defense buff, she's gonna be more survivable and definitely see more variety in terms of usage. So that's something I like. And let us move on. We have an increase in prominence. So okay, 60%, and on hit there is a 60% chance to deal additional damage and recover 2% of allies HP. Okay, so initially it was 2% of Piltvice's own HP. So this recover allies HP is definitely gonna be really helpful for the Colosseum side, right? Because your whole team's 2% is quite big, you know. Every time she hits, she has a chance to heal your whole team, and if you combine that with Visual Vac, you're gonna get a massive heal in your fire team. So looking forward to the rise of fire within Colosseum, and at least within the raid itself, I think it's gonna have a bit of a difference if you are more like you are weaker in terms of stats, because healing up your ally is definitely a good point. But fire melee team, usually they are pretty survivable, so this one is gonna be very minor in raid, probably more so for Colosseum. So Piltvice is getting a major buff in a sense, I guess. She can be more viable in the different game modes now. And we have the increase in chain skill or weapon skill damage for Lyn, 20% increase. Okay, Lyn has been kind of like overshadowed recently. But I think, I don't know why, I just feel that Lyn has been kind of weak. Like every single time I face a Lyn, right, it feels like a pretty easy win. So maybe that's just because I'm meeting weaker opponents. But then again, Lyn's ability kind of get countered if you have an injury negation card. So maybe that's why the Lyn is not as powerful as it seems. Okay. So the weapon skill damage for Cintilla increased from 200% to 230%. So like I mentioned, Cintilla is going to be more flexible. Cintilla is definitely going to be more powerful. And whether or not Cintilla will become the rule level unit in the future, honestly speaking, I think there's definitely a possibility. All they need now, right, is a very OP fire tank, because we have Rey, right, we have Cintilla, we have Piltvice, which are now much better arena units in the fire element. So Earth is definitely gonna see less use, and you know, you guys will see more water units, and Earth, water, fire will balance themselves out in terms of the arena meta. So that will be the change in the future. But I think if they do release a really powerful fire tank, there's a possibility that the fire team in arena is gonna be pretty absurd. So we shall see, okay? So bug fixes and changes, new co-op map, okay? So this is the new layout. Okay, so changes to loot, okay, new collection, race weapon, Werebeast weapon, as well as the 4 new legend accessories, okay. So Werebeast Rey pack, okay, nothing much to talk about. Okay, so road map, raid, excavation, okay. So these are the costumes. Okay, so we have the cute Z's, the very cute costume. We have the mahjong costume. This one which I like. I think this is really cute. And Ara's costume is really cute as well. Okay, Clara's costume is okay. All these are all pretty cute. I'm definitely getting this for Kana. Although her super costume is really nice though. But a pink white tiger, I wonder. Pink girl going on all fours and being a white tiger. Okay. So this, I don't think this offers a collection bonus, but I mean, it looks good, right? So I'll buy it if the animation in game is good. And then these are the repeated costumes, and then we have some new exclusive weapons. So we have a basket, right? A balloon basket. So this is definitely for Ara. Okay. Then we have a bow. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this news update. All right. I'll stream tomorrow as usual once the patch drop to see whether or not you know, the new patch have anything exciting for us to see. And thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more videos from the channel. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.